Welcome if this your first time on the channel. Today we breaking down Michael Jordan's load management comments. We're going to listen to exactly what he said. And then we're going to listen to Colin Cowherd talk about exactly what makes Michael Jordan the GOAT. We are talking peak versus longevity. So let's get into the audio of these two videos. If this your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Click that like button. Click that hype button. Push the video. I appreciate you. Let's go.
The term load management has become such a hot button in the NBA.
I knew you were going to talk about that one.
Let's
because
go,
you
Mike.
played 80 games a lot. You played 82. What do you think of when you hear the term load management thrown around?
It shouldn't be needed, first and foremost.
Definitely not.
I never wanted to miss a game because it was an opportunity to prove. It was something that I felt like,
Tough.
the fans are there to watch me play. I want to impress that guy way up on top who probably worked his ass off to get a ticket or to get money to buy the ticket.
You really cared about the guy who sat in the top deck at the Palace in Auburn Hills to watch you when you came to Detroit?
Yeah, because I know he's probably yelling at me. And I want to shut him up. He's calling me all kinds of names. I definitely want to shut him up.
Right.
You have a duty that if they're wanting to see you, and as an entertainer, I want to show. Right? So if the guys are coming to watch me play, I don't want to miss that opportunity. Now, physically, if I can't do it, then I can't do it.
Right.
But physically, if I can do it, and I just don't feel like doing it, that's a whole different lens.
So give me the first time that you came to that fork in the road in your career where you could have sat down and missed a game, but you fought through.
Third game of the season, started my career.
Okay.
I twist my ankle, and I had a teammate, David Greenwood. He says, you twist your ankle, young fella. Come over and sit with me. This is you need to. I said, no, man. I'm trying to make a name for myself. There's no way I can sit. I need to get out there and show what I'm capable of. I want to play. I want to win. I want to make an impact. And I twisted my ankle. I taped it up, and I went back out and I played. And I felt that. I always felt that. I always felt the necessary need that I could never leave my comrades out if I could perform, right? Even if I couldn't. Utah, a great example. Everybody said the finals. It's a game 5, which is a very pivotal game. I was going to find a way to get out there, even if I was a decoy. But once I got out there, you never know how, pushing yourself, you never know what happens, right?
So that night you got out there and you found you could do more than you thought you were going to be able to do.
Next thing you know, the emotions, the situation, the need of the team, all those things catapulted me to, I'm going to gut this thing out.
And that's fire. And we love that because what is he talking about? One, not letting your teammates down, but he's also talking about not letting the fans down. He's not trying to let us down. He want to go out there. He's thinking about the person that worked hard all year round, bought that ticket early, right? Because he had to save up, buy the ticket. Okay, MJ's gonna come 3 months from now. MJ wanted to be there. That matters. It's not about him trying to extend his career and play a bunch of... No, he put it all on the line for the fans. That's why he's the GOAT. Now we're gonna listen to two people from the media, LeBron James media, talk about this load management conversation, and salute to Colin Cowherd because he actually is admitting what makes everybody the greatest. It's not a longevity thing. That's great, but to be amongst the greatest, it ain't just a longevity. It's your peak. You looking at guys, Tim Duncan from 2000 to 2008, Kobe, 01, 09, LeBron, 12 to 20. You're looking at guys' peak. Mike, 88 to 98. It ain't about when he was on the Wizards. It's about his peak. And we're going to listen to them talk about this. Let's go.
What bothers me is load management. Think about this.
Bothers me too.
There were several Major League Baseball All-Stars. They play outdoors.
They play a lot of games.
You ever been outdoors in St. Louis in the summer? Cincinnati, Kansas City, Cleveland. It's charming.
It's hot.
Several All-Stars
played
162 of 162 games. Cal Raleigh's a catcher wearing what, 20 pounds of gear? He played 159. Okay. 11 total NBA players played every game last year. None of them stars. So you can do it. They're just choosing not to.
That's horrible.
I like Michael Jordan's belief, which is just play 82 games, play hard, give it everything, steak and potatoes every night, literally cards in the back of the plane, burn bright. I think I'd rather have the Marlon Brando career, which is like 7 hits, handful of bombs, not a bunch of B-level hits. I would rather go big shots, end quickly, be a legend. Your argument with Michael Jordan is he should have load managed.
100,000%. Colin, he played 13 seasons with the Bulls, 2 with the Wizards. He only played 15 seasons. Now, we could argue, hey, man, maybe he burned too bright. If he didn't do 82 games a year for 5 straight seasons, we would have had more Michael Jordan. LeBron's about to start whenever he gets healthy here. You're 23. I think it's smart to play 65, 70 games a season and extend your career by, I don't know, 7, 8 years. I mean, Colin, honestly, you would want more Michael Jordan if it meant, hey, man, sorry, you're not playing in November against the expansion Hornets. You know, sorry, you're sitting out of February back to back. Like, that's just smarter basketball.
Horrible
We're
mentality.
getting more Steph Curry. Steph Curry's going to have a longer career, I don't know, by like 4 or 5 years than Michael Jordan. Like, that's insane.
So?
You know, it's a really interesting because obviously what makes Brady great isn't sheer talent. It's longevity and production over those years. But when people look at, you know, a lot of people are like, well, Dan Marino or Aaron Rodgers. And I've always said that Tom was a lot more talented than people give him credit for. He had
Tom
elite
was amazing.
Elite brain, big, strong, drafted by a Major League Baseball team. Tom was a much better athlete than anybody gave him credit for. He just wasn't nimble. He grew up in the pocket world, in the pocket era, and he was the best pocket quarterback of all time. But it's interesting. My take is,
let's go,
the greatest legend in the history of the Dodgers is Sandy Koufax.
Yeah.
Sandy Koufax had like 3 unbelievable years and 3 other great years. He's the greatest. I mean, in the Dodgers history, of all the Dodgers, Koufax is the ultimate legend. He had a very short career. I mean, don't even count the Washington years. Basically, Michael had just 2 great 3-year runs, and he's the biggest basketball legend. If you look at the greatest actors, it's not about this catalog of performances.
It ain't
what are your 4 best movies? You could even throw in stinkers with Brando. So I think in the entertainment space, legends are made on great, not extension. They're not made on volume. They're built on what were you at your best?
Yep. He hit it right on the head. And guess what? That's with everything. You look at music, Michael Jackson. He didn't have 100 or 10 great albums. No, he had 3, but they all time. You go back to him and listen to him. You're like, oh my God, this is amazing. He's the greatest musician ever. That matters. Your peak. It outweighs longevity. And for the players that can't play the 82 games, they have to load manage. Dog, it might be time for you to retire. Have you ever thought about that? It's just time to retire. You taking money from teams. You taking advantage of the fans. We can't see you play when we paying money early. You sitting out certain games. Yeah, if you hurt, we understand. But for you to not be hurt and just go, all right, I'm going to sit out. It makes no sense. MJ spoke on that like, yo, the science don't even make sense. These dudes are sitting out, load managing, and then they still getting hurt. It don't make sense. So you supposed to try to play 82 games. None of these guys are doing that. It's leadership at the top. That's horrible. And maybe if you can't play 82 games, if the All-Star come around and you like, man, I can't play in the All-Star game, too tough, I need to rest, maybe it's time to retire. But I love what Colin said about the peak thing against longevity, because that's what it's really about. When you think about Larry Bird, or you really thinking about Larry Bird with the bad back, yes, you need some years of being in your prime, right? You need a nice body of work. But if you then accomplished championships and you was one of the top players in the league for 3, 5, 7 years, I always go 7 is the number of completion. 7 to 11 years. If you done did that, then you got a great body of work where I can look at that and put you up against somebody else prime. So I could look at Hakeem Olajuwon in his prime, watch those years, and then look at Tim Duncan. And then I could say who is better. You could look at Kobe. You could look at Larry Bird years. Look at their primes and say, okay, who was the best player during their peak? I believe Kobe was. My top 5, MJ, Kobe, Kareem, Hakeem, and Tim Duncan. 5 guys that mastered the game on offense and defense. They were amazing. But it's a lot of great guys out there. But it's not about longevity. I'm looking at Steph Curry in his peak. I'm not talking about Steph with the bad ankles. And I'm glad Michael Jordan stepped up and said something. Because right now, they don't have leadership players that come out and say things. Steph Curry could have said something about this. KD could have said something. LeBron. Everybody should have stepped up and said, yo, this ain't right for us to be load managing. Taking advantage of the fans. Not being there for our teammates. Michael Jordan spoke about the camaraderie you get when all of y'all are playing a lot of games. When this guy want to sit out and only play 60 games, and this guy want to sit out and only play 60 games, y'all get to the playoffs and you wonder why everything ain't working like it's supposed to. Everybody want to load manage. It's a big problem in the league. Colin compared that to baseball. They play 100 and something games, 150 games, 160 games. Basketball play 82, and he's saying majority of those guys are playing every game. With basketball, 10 guys, none of them superstars. It didn't used to be like that. Even if the superstars couldn't play 82, we knew they was hurt. It was an injury. That's why they not out there. You can trust the star before you buy the ticket. Like, I know he gonna come out here and try to prove himself, just like Michael Jordan was saying, man. But y'all let me know y'all thoughts on this. Put it down in the comments. As always, if this your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Check out the other content. Click that like button. That's how they push the video. And as always, y'all be easy. Be safe. Peace.